The top 5 things I think you should ask before accepting a job and during your interview for an aesthetic injector position. Number 1 is training. You want to ask what kind of training you're going to be getting, who is going to be training you, and what are their qualifications. The reason is I've had some experience myself where the person training me had 2 months experience and it didn't go over very well. She really was not too knowledgeable, and it was something that really made me feel like myself and everyone that's being dedicated to this field should really get their own training. So when you're at an interview, ask details, and if they dodge the details, then that's concerning, right? So ask them who it is that's going to be training you, how much training you're going to be getting. Even ask how they're keeping track of the training, who is going to be clearing you to do these procedures. Okay, so number 2 is malpractice insurance. So you want to ask if you're covered by their malpractice insurance. And if they say yes, I would recommend that you immediately ask for a copy. I was in a position myself where every job I have, I ask for a copy and I want it for my records. I want that policy number. And after 2-3 months of asking, the doctor finally gave me a copy of the malpractice insurance, and I found out I was not covered. It covered RNs, registered nurses, but not nurse practitioners. So you really want to do your due diligence. Don't take a job and just have someone tell you you're covered. Get proof, get a copy. They shouldn't have any problem not giving you a copy of that. But number 3 is standardized procedures and protocols. You want to ask as a nurse practitioner, if they have standardized procedures and protocols. You should know what protocols are. Go to the Board of Registered Nursing if you don't know. Downloading some information for providers from a website, for example, about Botox, and putting it in a file is not a real true protocol. So you want to make sure that it's a true protocol. It's going to protect you in the end. You've worked hard to get to where you are. You have your license, and you don't want something like this to sidetrack you. So make sure it's done, and if it's not, maybe even work with the provider and the nurses there to get a really good standardized procedures and protocols in place. So number 4, ask about compensation. When I first started, honestly, it wasn't a big deal to me in regards to compensation. I didn't have a ton of experience, but there are some average pay ranges for RNs and nurse practitioners. The first year, you'll likely be on the lower end, and if you have 3 years or more experience, you'll be in that middle range. And people who have 5 years experience or more can look at being paid at that higher end. And I've also been told if you're an advanced injector and you are training, then you even have another tier. So you want to ask about the pay range, and every interview you go to, you want to just compare that. There are some companies that will offer commission as well, but my understanding that's usually after you have at least a year or 2 experience, and around a 3% mark is what I've been told. So my number 5 thing that you should ask during your interview is, who is the medical director? So the director is someone that is your supervising physician, and you really should know who that person is. You should have access to that person by email, phone, text. So you just want to make sure that whoever this medical director is, I would ask to meet that person if they're not on the premises all the time, and make sure that you have access to that person. Again, it's your career, it's your license on the line. You want to make sure that you have access to someone just in case. You don't want to end up having a problem or an issue, then you're scrambling looking around for who this medical director is. So I hope that this has helped. I think that these are 5 things, in my opinion, that are vital to ask during an interview. But if you have anything else you think is important, feel free to share it, because I love to, anyone who's new in the field, I would love to kind of share more information with them. Again, thanks so much for watching.